You are about to operate the most practical and efficient sewer jetter on the market. This program has been designed to help you obtain maximum results with your new Mustang Units jetter. From unpackaging to assembly, setup, operation, troubleshooting, and helpful techniques for the safe and effective use of this powerful machine. Upon receipt of your Mustang Units jetter, carefully inspect the packaging for noticeable signs of damage. Damage claims must be made within 24 hours to receive credit. Call our National Watts line number 1-800-624-5934. To unpackage the jetter, first open the pump box and remove any literature and loose items. Do not lift the pump from the box as it is attached to a wooden pallet. Two methods can be used to remove the pump from the pallet. Take a 7/16 socket attached to a 12-inch or longer extension bar and remove these three nuts holding the pump to the pallet. Lift it to a work surface, inspecting the pump for damage. Report any problems immediately to our toll-free number. If an extension bar and socket are not available, use a short, sharp knife and cut around the entire bottom of the box, being careful not to cut any hoses. Use an adjustable wrench or box wrench and remove the pump from the pallet. Now that the pump is open to inspection, it is important to become familiar with and identify all the following parts. Proper operation and safety requires a working knowledge of all fittings and gauges. The high-pressure jetter heads. The long-distance jetter head. All three jets are in reverse for maximum thrust. Use this head for cleaning and maintaining lines. The cornering jetter head, with two jets in reverse and one at a 90-degree angle. Use this head when turning dead 90-degree corners or proceeding into a T. The broken line jetter head, flotation ball attached with all three jets in reverse. Use this head when jetting through broken lines. The penetrating jetter head, three jets in reverse and one jet forward. Use this head for normal jetting through ice or other residues. The water inlet valve assembly. Remove this valve each time the jetter is used and inspect the screen for any residues which may block the flow of water to the pump and inhibit the pressure from reaching proper levels. Flush, clean, and replace each time the jetter is used. The water outlet high pressure snap fitting. Pull back collar and insert male fitting of hose into this coupling. The water outlet pressure gauge. This gauge is fluid filled for true readings during pump operation. The pressure relief valve. When the pressure builds up to unsafe levels, this valve will automatically open to relieve pressure. Adjust this valve only according to the guidelines specified in the manual for various models. The petcock valve. Open this valve to drain water from the pump hose. Stagnant water trapped in the line may freeze during winter operation. Winterizing your pump with antifreeze will be explained later in this program. The pulse control lever. Cycling this lever up and down modifies the pulse characteristics. This can be helpful when turning corners during jetting and is also necessary for priming the pump, removing any trapped air in the lines. The pulse eliminator valve. Pulse action can be eliminated by moving this lever to an upright position. Use this position when the optional wash wand is attached. The accumulator. This hose acts as a shock absorber for smoother flow during pulse action. Standard on the 12E, while optional on the 10E. The carrying handle. Always use this handle when lifting the pump unit. Lifting by the pump and motor may cause damage to the shaft. Since the pump is mounted freely on the shaft, it is normal for it to have this much movement. The grounded power cord. For safest operation, always plug the unit into a grounded outlet. This is important since you are using the pump near water. If extension cords are necessary, 12 gauge with ground or heavier. The pump will operate at lower voltage when using a lighter gauge extension. This can cause the pump motor to overheat. The ground fault receptacle. This box is equipped with a ground fault device making for safer operation of accessory equipment. After plugging in the accessory, switch it on and push the test button. The current should be immediately cut. This test shows whether the ground fault is operating. Push the reset and the current is restored. The weather cover with seal. Keep this door closed when the outlets are not in use. This helps protect the outlets from exposure to moisture. The on-off toggle switch. The motor is protected from overheating by an internal thermal protection switch. If overheating occurs, this switch will automatically shut the motor off. If this should happen, allow the motor to cool and reset the circuit. The motor cover plate should only be removed by a qualified electrical technician. It covers the 1.5 horse, totally enclosed, heavy-duty, water-shielded, ground fault protected, high-efficiency motor, designed to run off a normal 110 outlet and draw only 13.6 amps of current. This makes operation possible on typical household electrical services. The terminal end cap is fitted to the accumulator hose and is not to be removed. Remove this cover to expose the grease zerk and grease the pump after every 100 hours of operation. Now that you are familiar with the pump unit, unpack the cart, open the box, and using cutters, clip the packaging tie. Tilt the box and roll the cart out. If you have the optional C5 cart with pneumatic tires, they will need to be assembled. Place the cart upright and remove the cotter pin. Lift the axle and the wheels off the cart. Remove one wheel. Place the washers between the brace and the wheels. Slide the last washer over the end of the axle, and finally replace the cotter pin and bend with pliers. To assemble the pump and reel to the cart, start by removing these wing nuts. Remove the bumper guard and set the brace, or the optional toolbox and brace, that was held in place by the wing nuts aside for assembly of the hose reel. Remove the pump brace at the base of the cart by removing the 2 wing nuts. Remove the 3rd wing nut and leave the washer in place. Set these aside for assembly of the pump to the cart. To install the bumper guard, unscrew the nuts and using a standard screwdriver and a 3/8 inch wrench, mount the guard to the front of the cart base by sliding the bolts through the holes and replacing the nuts. Open the hose reel box and remove the reel from the pallet with proper tools. Grasp the hose reel by the carrying handle and place it aside for assembly. Move the cart to an upright position on the floor and lay out all the parts. Gathering the 3 wing nuts and the pump brace removed earlier from the base of the cart, grasp the pump by the carrying handle and place the mounting plate over the 3 bolts at the base of the cart. Slide the mounting brace through the space between the shaft and the mounting plate, setting the slots over the 2 bolts. Next, lift the base of the motor housing and place a wing nut on the bolt. Now place the other 2 wing nuts over the pump mounting brace. To assemble the hose reel to the cart, you will need the top mounting brace or the optional toolbox and brace, the 2 wing nuts removed earlier, and the hose reel assembly. With all these items within arm's reach, grasp the hose reel assembly and lift it into place by sliding the reel base into the slots provided on the cart. Hold the reel in place with your knee and take either the top mounting brace or the optional toolbox and brace and slide it behind the eared braces of the reel assembly. Push the bolts through the holes in the back of the cart and secure with 2 wing nuts. Now take the plastic covered hose attached to the axis of the hose reel and snap the male fitting at the end of the hose into the high pressure coupling. To tighten the hose attachment at the reel axis, rotate the loose hose against the reel and using 2 adjustable wrenches, tighten the fitting. The cart is completely assembled and is ready to be wheeled to an area where a water supply threaded for a garden hose, a grounded outlet, and a drain or the optional 5-gallon Mustang holding tank are available. The garden hose must be at least 5/8 inches inside diameter or larger. Electrical extensions must be 12 gauge with ground or heavier. Grounded plugs are always necessary for safest use around water. Before hooking the pump to a water supply, check the water inlet screen for residues. These residues must be flushed away for proper water flow to the pump. A clogged screen will cause the pressure to be drastically reduced. Check this screen each time the unit is used. Once clean, replace the screen and the shutoff valve, but do not tighten. Connect the garden hose to the water inlet. Rotate the shutoff valve to an upright position and tighten into place by hand. Turn the inlet valve off. Now turn the water supply on, checking the inlet fitting for any leaks. Pull the angle pin on the side of the hose reel and rotate to expose the bungee cord and the end of the jetter hose. Remove the bungee and unscrew the protective cap from the threaded male fitting and set aside. Reel the hose to a drain outside axis or the optional Mustang 5-gallon holding tank. Unwind the grounded electrical cord and connect to a proper gauge extension. After connection is made, place the cord away from the pump or water. Open the water inlet valve, and water should pass through the pump and out of the jetter hose. Do not place any tips on the hose at this time. If water is flowing freely from the end of the hose, switch the pump motor on. Water will be passing through the hose with increased velocity. To remove trapped air from the pump system, cycle the pulse control lever and the pulse eliminator handle up and down 3 or 4 times. Then open and close the petcock valve to remove any other trapped air bubbles. The pump is now primed and ready for jetting. Priming the pump is necessary each time the jetter is used to achieve correct pressures.